Tell you now that 7 states are taking steps to commence ranching as a way to prevent the wave of killings that has swept across farming communities in the north central in recent weeks, in which hundreds of lives have been lost with wanton bloodletting. The states ready to commence ranching are Lagos, Plateau, Ondo, Zamfara, Bauchi, Delta, Niger, Kano, Jigawa, Nasarawa, and Anambra. The development comes against the surging killings in Benue and Plateau communities linked to armed herders. Last week, more than 200 persons were murdered in Yelewata, Benue State by armed assailants. And President Bola Tinubu attributed the incident to land grabbing and urged the governors to seek reconciliation. Let's talk more on this. We have Dr. Nemeka Obiariri, Policy Affairs and Investment Analyst, to share his thoughts on this development. It's good to have you on the news. The Ruga policy was introduced by Buhari's presidency to create what was described as designated areas for grazing and cattle rearing in the hopes of mitigating clashes over land and resources. But we know that critics have then raised concerns about potential to exacerbate ethnic tensions, of course, the land grabbing issues that the president has said, and the imposition of some way of life on certain communities. Have we addressed these concerns raised enough to proceed as we are?
I will be very sincere and honest with you. The federal government of Nigeria, they are not being sincere with these issues that we're talking about. By the reason of the Land Use Act, land usance and control is within the purview of the governors. It's very shocking and preposterous that the federal government of Nigeria is delving into trying to provide leeway for land grabbing by people whose private business should be their private business. There's no the herdsman and the pig rearer and the poultry farmer. There's no difference. There's no difference between any of them. These are private business owners that should, as much as possible, provide ranches for themselves. It's a commercial business. I'll give you an example. Look at Netherlands. Netherlands, with an arable landmass of 1.5 million hectares of land, has cow population of about 1.6 million. Deliberately scattered in 18,316 agro-pastoral centers. Farmers usually, and in an integrated manner, allow themselves to integrate their farm with pastoralists in such a way that, of course, the poo from the pastoralists will be biodigested into organic fertilizer to fertilize the farm, whereas the farmers will cultivate things like maize, like the other things that they can use the stock to provide animal feed for the cows. Symbiotic, integrated relationship that does not call for the kind of rancor that we have in Nigeria. Netherlands, 1.6 million cow population, 800,000 tons of cheese produced annually, 12 billion liters of milk produced annually, massive beef, over $24 billion revenue annually within that sector. Nigeria, 19.5 billion cows. We still import over $1 billion worth of milk. The only thing that we hear is death and misery. The truth is, the people executing this massive killing and destruction are not herders. Let us stop deceiving ourselves. Any herdsman who has cow and wants to rear his cow knows what to do.
But Dr. Obiariri, if I may interject here, I have spoken to a lot of analysts and experts on this subject, and the consensus is it's more about land grabbing. Another one, like you, are saying that it's not a herder's problem. So what really is the problem that is taking lives so much? And the federal government, a lot of persons are saying this might seem like an effort to solve a problem that is very little, but something, you know. So if you say that is not the issue, then are we addressing something that is not the issue by talking about ranching?
We are not addressing the issue. The federal government of Nigeria, for whatever reasons best known to them, is playing the ostrich here. I was privileged in 2019 to speak at the PDP Governors Forum. And I was very emphatic. To be able to take care of 19 million cows, to rear a cow, open grazing, will require about 2 acres of land. To rear 19 million cows will require almost about 39 million acres of land, which is close to about 15 to 20 million hectares of land. The southeast alone, where I come from, has only 2.8 million hectares of land. The southwest has 19 million hectares of land. The same thing with the south, where you have massive land mass of about 69 million hectares, is in the north. And all over the world, from Israel to Saudi Arabia to Argentina to Botswana to Ethiopia to Sudan, you will see clearly how this, I made a suggestion to them. I said, if these governors are sincere, the governors of the north, and this is all about it's not about land grab, we did a proposal to them on what they can do. 2,500 agro-pastoral centers across the different electoral wards in the northern part of Nigeria. Each of these clusters will have 2,000 hectares of land. We will have ranches. We will have over 1,000 hectares of maize and sorghum and legume farm. We will have date palm plantations. All the government will do is to provide the enabling environment, provide security, set up agro rangers, 3 per cluster that will help us.
So this suggestion you're making, this suggestion you are making is similar to what is being put on the table, and it seems 11 states are already embracing it. Is it not?
It is not similar at all. It is not similar at all.
What is the difference?
What I am suggesting, the difference is that the federal government of Nigeria is injecting themselves into land grab. To do what I want, what I've suggested here, to be able to set up 2,500 agro-pastoral centers in 2,500 locations will require about $15 billion, $6 million per cluster. And each of these clusters will be able to get about $42 million annually. This 2,000 will get about 20 million jobs. It will require $15 billion to put.
So who will fund it? Because on the one hand, we are talking about, you know, settling a crisis. On the other hand, people are afraid that this might generate another. Because like it or not, a cattle rearing is a private business. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a private business. So who will be funding these ranches that they're talking about? Because there are so many issues, and it seems we haven't even, you know, touched the head of it.
If the federal government is sincere and the governors are sincere, the first thing they would do is to ban open grazing. Ban it. This is 21st century. All over the world. In fact, if you look at Nigeria, it's actually, if you go to Africa, Sudan, Ethiopia has more cow population than Nigeria. You will never hear anything like the madness we have in Nigeria. The truth is, some terrorists and the bandits and militia from outside Nigeria are hiding under the headers thing to grab land from the indigenous people of Nigeria. And the federal government of Nigeria is complicitly aiding them. Because the truth is, we've given them blanket black and white. How these things can be executed under private-public partnership arrangement. See, if we ban open grazing and ask every
Dr. Albert, I thought open grazing has already been banned in many states. We don't seem to have a problem with saying, don't do this, don't do that. But are these orders being respected? Open grazing has been banned, but in most places, has that provided any feedback that is encouraging, you know, a continuous push for that?
Most of these governors are not enforcing it because they are very lazy, they are very incompetent, and they are still playing politics. Let me tell you, as a governor of Imo State, where I come from, it will not take me anything to mobilize funds to get the biggest. Let me tell you, some of the biggest animal husbandry companies from Namibia to South Africa to Netherlands to Brazil to Israel are willing to come to Nigeria to set up shops. We've done these proposals to them. From Imo State, we have about 27 local government areas. We can set up agro-pastoral clusters.
So what do we need?
People. Let me tell you.
What do we need to push these ideas to reality? Because we have a situation today. 11 states are already allocating land, and there are fears which we've raised at the beginning of this conversation. What would be a lasting move or something that would get us started in the right direction to stop these killings that we continue to hear about?
We have provided a template on how these things can be done transparently and accountably without anybody grabbing anybody's land. We've set out a template on how, see, let me tell you, these headers that are migrating to the south, where are they coming from? If you, even Niger State alone can provide enough accommodation for all these headers. The truth is, the federal government of Nigeria is not doing anything sincerely to tackle this matter. Ranching is a private business. Cow rearing, for crying out loud, is a private business. The same thing with the pig farmer, the same thing with the poultry farmer, the same thing with the fish farmer. If we are allocating land, state is allocated. So please, we have opportunity of creating $3 billion pig and pork business in Nigeria. When is the government of Nigeria allocating our own land to pig farmers across 11 states in Nigeria?
All right. Doctor, I guess this is one situation we'll continue to, find ways to find a middle ground. I hope no more lives are lost. That's a pipe dream. Thank you very much for speaking with us. We appreciate your time.